Hello everyone. Welcome to part 82 of SQL for Beginner series. In this video session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate on how to use indexes. So in this video session, I am going to explain how to use indexes. So what are indexes and what is their purpose? What are indexes and what is their purpose? Indexes are something that we can create for the tables. That means we can create indexes for the table. Okay, for the tables. We can create indexes for the tables. Why we have to create the indexes? There is a reason. Okay, there is a reason why we have to create the indexes for the tables. By creating these indexes for the tables, okay, it will improve the performance. Okay, performance, that is the speed at which, that is, we can retrieve the records at a faster speed from the tables. The tables having indexes. Okay, the tables having indexes. From those tables, we can retrieve the records in a faster way. Okay, faster way than the tables which doesn't have indexes. If you create indexes for the tables, then we can retrieve the records from that particular table in a faster way. So indexes are something like, let's say there is a book, guys. Okay, some book is there. This book has, let's say, some 1,000 pages. Now, if I ask you to find some word inside this book, okay, or some topic inside this book. Let's say this book is about SQL, and if I want you to find out about the update statement, okay, I would like to find a topic known as update in this particular 1,000 pages of SQL book. Let's say this is a SQL book, and I would like you to find this update statement related topic in this particular 1,000 pages. What you will do, you'll start from the first page, right? After completing the first page, if you don't find this update statement, then you will go to the second page, then third page, fourth page, and you keep on going until you find this update related topic in some of the pages in this particular SQL book. But what if, but what if in the, what if I provide some table of contents? Okay, some table of contents. Generally, table of contents will be there in every book in the beginning of the book, right? Table of contents. So this table of contents will contain the list of topics that are explained in this particular book, in this 1,000 pages. Now, instead of searching this 1,000 pages, if you go through this table of contents, okay, so is it easy to find the update statements? So somewhere in the table of contents, update will be mentioned with some page number, like something like, let's say, 567. Okay, this 567 page, you have this update related topic. Then what you will do, when you find this particular topic and its corresponding page number from the table of contents, you'll directly go to that page. So what is the fastest way, guys? Is it to go without the table of contents, or going page by page? If table of contents is there, then accessing this particular topic will become very easy, right? Similar thing with the index tables and indexes also. Let's say there is a table. Okay, let's say there is a table like this. This table has some columns. This table has some columns. Let's say the table columns are like ID, name, okay, ID, just writing outside, space is less, ID, name, experience, and country. Fine. ID, name, experience, and country. Now you got a requirement. You got a requirement where, I'll move this inside. Okay, so I'll move this inside so that we have 4 columns in the table like ID, name, experience, country, and let's say this particular table has thousands of records. Okay, not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Thousands of records are there. Okay, like this 1000 records are there. This is the first record, and let's say this is 1000 records are there. Now what happens here is, let's say there is some UI. Okay, application UI page is there, web page. For example, here we have Google search, right? If you go to google.com and you will search for something, okay? If I search for QFox, immediately Google will give the QFox website, our website, okay? QFox website like this. So how the Google is able to search? Here this is search box. Here whatever the text you are giving for searching, right? Internally Google will convert into some query, SQL query kind of statement, okay? So how the internal implementation of Google, we don't know. But here, coming to the same example, let's say there is a web page like Google, okay, and let's say there is a text box field like this, okay. Beside this text box field, let's say there is a search button or icon, whatever it is. Now this text box field is intended for entering the country, okay. You can enter any country into this text box field and click on search, so that what happens is this particular web page will display all the employee. These are all employee details, guys. Okay, employee details. 4 columns are there: ID, name, experience, country. If you provide some country here, like India or something, okay, all the employees who are from the India from this employee table will be displayed here like this, right? So let's say here, if I specify the country as USA, sorry. So let's say here in place of the country I am providing USA in this text box field, and then I clicked on the search box. What will happen internally? A query will be created. Select, okay, star from this employee table. In the back end, this is the front UI, guys. Okay, this is UI part. Okay, this is UI part. In the back end, database will be there. DB will be there, having all this employee table and all those stuff. Okay, so whenever a user goes to this UI, okay, goes to this kind of UI and enters some country like US and clicks on search, what happens is this UI, okay, will create a, once you click on search, this UI will create a kind of SQL query statement like this. Select star from employee table, okay, where country is equal to, here what country you gave? USA. So USA will be created, okay. This will be created by this UI. If you give USA here, this query will have the USA entered. If you give India here, select star from employee where country is equal to India will be created, okay. And this query will be executed in the DB, okay, on the DB. When it got executed on the DB, okay, of this particular application, what will happen? All the employee records which are from the country USA will be filtered from this particular table and displayed here, okay. This query will run on this particular DB and retrieve all the records of the employees who are from the country USA, and whatever the records we got in the result for this particular query, they will get displayed on the UI of the page like this. But here there are thousands of records. Lot of records are there in this particular employee table, which is at the back end of this particular UI, right? So anyhow, we know that this particular page where we have to enter only country here, right? We have to enter the country and click on search. Then what we can do here is to make this, okay, it will take some time to filter the USA records from this employee table and display here, right? Some time will be taken by this application. Some time will be taken by this application to create this query and filter the records, okay, who are of the employees who are from USA, and once they get the records, they will be displayed here. Some time will be taken for displaying this particular employee details who are from the USA, from this particular table by this UI of the application. But if you want to reduce this particular time, okay, the time for retrieving the records to this particular UI of the application. Okay, if you want to reduce the time, some time will be taken here. But if you want to reduce the time, we can create indexes. Okay, we can create index for this employee table. So yes, I will be creating some index for this employee table. That's all good because I am trying to retrieve some records from very good number of records. But here I am entering USA. USA is a country. Country is one of the column in the employee table. So here index will be created for not the complete table, guys. Okay. Here index will not be created for not for the complete table. We have to create index for this employee table for only country column. Okay. Because we are searching for with the country name. Okay, and you need to, if you create an index with the country column, okay, the table of contents like different countries, okay, table of contents kind of thing like this with different countries, India, USA, UK, Spain, like that, all the countries will be, table of contents will be created in this particular index internally. Okay, we will not see this happening. If you create a if you create an index for the employee table for this particular country column, this kind of table of contents based on the country column will be created. Now, whenever you search for this USA, then what happens in internally is, so with the help of this index, okay, with the help of this index, we'll be able to retrieve all the records of the employees who are from the country USA or specified country in a faster manner, similar to the table of contents, okay, of this book. So without table of contents, you have to go through first record. If the USA is not there in the first record, then second record. If the USA is there in second record, okay, retrieve this. Again third record. If USA is not there here, again fourth record. Like that, we have to completely filtering 1 to 1000. Okay, we have to keep on going from first record to 1000 records. But if you create some kind of index like this, okay, where exactly this USA country records are there, okay, internally it will create this kind of index. So if you create an index for this employee table for this country column, whenever you search for this USA, the retrieval process will become very faster. Okay, here time will be reduced. Retrieval, okay, the time taken for retrieving the records of the employee table who are from the country USA will take less time. After using index, it will take less time. Because of the index, the retrieval process become faster. But one more thing you need to understand here, guys. Okay, don't create index unnecessarily. Okay, if it is this kind of requirement where you have a page where you have to enter the country and search and get the details from the employee table, okay, then only create the index for this US country kind of column. Okay, you can create for the index for the employee table for this country column. But unnecessarily, if you create the index, what happens is your insertion and updation operations will become slow. Okay, will become slow. If your requirement is to only retrieve the records from the tables, then feel free to create index for such kind of columns in that particular table. But if you are mostly relying on insertion and updation to this particular table, then avoid indexes, guys. Indexes, by creating the indexes, this process like insertion and updation statements of SQL will make the process very slow. Okay, if your intention is to insert some records into the table or regularly or updating the table regularly, then indexes should not be applied on the table. Only if you want to retrieve the records from the table every time, then only we have to use the indexes. Okay, indexes will make the retrieval faster, but insertion and updation slower. This is what you need to understand, guys. So what next? Next is practical demonstration, guys. Okay, practical demonstration of how to create indexes for the table and all those stuff. So let me open my MySQL workbench. So in one of the previous videos, I installed and configured MySQL in my machine. And with MySQL, I got this MySQL Workbench client from where I can execute the queries. So I'm just trying to open that. It will take a bit of time to launch. Let it launch, guys. So hope you understood what is indexes and all, right? So we generally create index for the table just to make the retrieval process from the table faster by creating the index only for the columns of that particular table. Okay, you are going to create indexes for the not complete table. Okay, it's possible, but you better to create indexes for the required columns that you want to retrieve based on, okay, the condition. Fine. So let me explain. So things will be more clear for you soon, guys. Okay. So whatever the examples I gave here and all those things will become more practical and more relevant for you now. So what I'm trying to do here is here, as you can see in the MySQL workbench, there are 4 DBs being displayed. This QFox DB is created by me in one of the previous videos, and this Satila, Sys, and World databases came by default with the MySQL. Okay, I have not created them; they came by default. But coming to QFox, I created. So I'm going to use the QFox table in this video session just to demonstrate this indexes concept. Fine. So how to use how to select the database QFox? I have to say use QFox. Run this. Now QFox database got selected. Now I can work on any of these tables under this QFox or create any tables under this QFox, and I can perform different operations under this QFox because I selected the QFox database now. Now there are few existing tables, guys. What I will do is I will just drop them. I don't want them. Drop 3 tables. Okay, I'm just clearing out the earlier stuff, whatever I created. So here tables are there. Okay, there are no extensions and all those stuff. That's fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this table. Okay, this employee table I'm going to create. With the ID, name, experience, and country columns. I'm creating some data, guys. Before I'm creating some index for this particular table, I have to first create the table itself, right? So for that, I'm going to create a table. Create table emp1 id int name varchar let's say 15. Then here some spelling mistake, the data type. So varchar and experience again int. After experience again, what is there? Country, right? Country column. Country varchar again 15. So I just created this create table statement with 4 columns in this emp1 table. First column name is ID, then we have name, then experience and country. So with these 4 columns, I'm trying to create a table. Now, as you can see, the table got created. If you refresh here, the table will fall here, emp1 table. If you expand this, there are 4 columns in this table. That is ID column, name column, experience column, and country column. And are there any index for this particular table? You see under indexes, there are nothing is there. Okay, you have a statement, guys, SQL statement to see whether there are any indexes created for the emp1 table. So show indexes from emp1. I have to say like this. Show indexes from emp1. If I run this, you see there are no indexes, 0 indexes. It's blank. Okay, indexes are not there. And are there any records in this particular emp1 table? It will not be there because this is just now created, right? We have just now created this emp1. If you want to confirm that, select star from emp1. If I run this, you see there are no records, and even indexes are not created for this particular emp1 table. In order to find out if there are any existing indexes for this emp1 table, you have to say show indexes from table name, that is emp1. Okay, now I'm going to insert some records into this particular table, guys. Okay, this table is kind of empty. As you can see, select star from emp1 is resulting in empty table having only these column names like ID, name, experience, and country, right? So now let me insert some records into this emp1 table. Select star, sorry, I am saying select insert. Okay, insert into emp1 values 1 Arun 12, experience is 12, and country is I'm saying India. Okay, India. Then we have insert into emp1 values 2 comma Tarun 7 experience and USA. Okay, USA. Third thing, insert into emp1 values 3 comma Varun 9 years of experience, and then he's from, let's say, UK. Like this I created. I am trying to insert 3 records into this emp1 table. Run this. So 3 records got inserted. Now say select star from emp1 and you will get the table ID, that is emp1 table with the columns ID, name, experience, country, and under those columns we have 3 records: first record, second record, third record, with all the details I have provided for insertion. Now good. Now guys, tomorrow there came a requirement where I need to retrieve, okay, I need to retrieve the employee details from this emp1 table who is from the country USA. Okay, I want to get the details of the employees from this EMP1 table who are from USA. So how to do that? I will write a statement like this, right? Sorry. Select star from EMP1 table, get all the records from the EMP1 table of the employees, okay, who are from which country? Their country is equal to USA. I have to say like this. This is a statement I have to write, guys. When I run this, what will happen? Instead of retrieving all the records from the EMP1 table, okay, only the records of the employees who are from the country USA will be retrieved. So here, before I run this particular statement, as you can see, there are 3 records and only one person, that is second person is from, Tarun is from USA. So if I run this, the result will be Tarun, guys. Okay, run it. Fine. So like this. Now, what is the condition in the where class? Country. This is the condition we are using for retrieving the records from the EMP1 table, right? So if you are using the same condition every time, it's better to create an index for this particular EMP1 table, okay, for the column country, because it will increase the performance and improve the performance and increase the speed in which the records can be retrieved from this particular table. That's the reason we have to use this. Here I explained, right? There's front-end application where you have to enter the country and click on search. In the background, select star from employee where country is called US will be created, and this will retrieve the records from employee table. Let's say there are thousands of records, it will become very difficult. Like the time it will take a lot of time. Now, if you create some index based on this country column, this time will be reduced. Okay, it will become faster. Retrieval process will become faster. Same thing here, guys. Okay, so here country is called USA. This is a search term. This is a search term we are using for getting the records from this EMP1 table. So if you create index for this particular search term column, then the retrieval process will become fast. In this example, there are only 3 records. In real-time applications, there will be thousands of records. Okay, lakhs of records. In that kind of cases, if you simply use like this without creating the index for this particular EMP1 table, what will happen? It will take a lot of time. In order to increase the performance of the application or to increase the speed which the application has to retrieve the records from this EMP1 table, we have to create the index for this particular table for that particular search column, that is country. Okay. Now this is working fine, but in order to increase the speed in real time, here I cannot show you the speed, guys. Okay, slow speed and fast speed. Okay, I cannot show you the recording performance, but just understand the concept why we have to use indexes. They will increase the performance or the speed at which the records will be retrieved from the table. Okay, but here I am going to give this example just to show you how to write the syntaxes for creating the indexes. Okay, finding out whether there are any existing indexes in the table, etc., etc. Okay, that you are learning here. But in real time, this situation, the developers have to create the indexes for this EMP1 table before, okay, using this query for retrieving the records from the employee table who are from the country US. Okay, for the country column of the employee, they will create the index. Now let me create an index. Till now I have not created an index, right? And if I say show indexes from EMP1, it will be empty. Indexes are empty. But if I create an index for this particular country column of this EMP1 table, what will happen? Let's see. Create index. Okay, index name, country index. Okay, country index. Create index country index. Okay, on create index country index on. I have to give the table name, guys. Okay, on I have to give the table name like this. Okay, on table name. So on what is the table name? Table name is EMP1. EMP1. The column is which column? For which column I have to create this index? Create index. This is the name of the index I am creating, guys. Okay, because I'm creating an index for the country column of the EMP1 table. I'm just gave the name like country index. You can give any name here. Okay, CI also you can give. If you want to give CI, you can give that. Okay. To make it readable, I'm just giving country index. Okay. Create index with the name country index or any other name on EMP1 table. For which column? For country column. You have to give that a column name here. Okay. Here, this particular EMP1 table has country column. So I'm going to retrieve the records from this EMP1 table using this country is equal to USA in the condition where class condition. That's why I'm making the country as a index. Okay. So I'm choosing the country column for the creation of the index. Create index country index on EMP1 table for which column? Country column. So if I run this, an index will be created. You see the index got created. Now if I say show indexes from EMP1, Okay, show indexes from EMP1. Earlier there were no indexes for this EMP1 table, but now for the table EMP1, an index got created. Okay, and for the column, which column? Country column, it got created. The name of the index is country index. Okay, index got created, guys. So what's the benefit of creating the indexes? Now tomorrow if I say select star from EMP1 where country is equal to USA, okay, we'll get the results, but bit faster than without indexing. Okay, without indexing of the table, we'll also get the results, but the retrieval time for retrieving the records from that particular table will be slower when compared to the tables which have the index created like this. Okay, here also when you refresh here for this EMP1 table, under the tables we have only one table, that is EMP1 table. Expand this, here we have columns, these are the 4 columns. Now earlier we don't have indexes here, now we got the country index created. Okay, you can see the under the tables itself, you can see the for the particular column under the indexes, we'll find the index names. Okay, whatever the indexes you create here, they will be displayed here, guys. Okay, or you can run this statement show indexes for from EMP1, that will display the indexes that are created for this particular table. Fine. Now, guys, now you understood what the purpose of the indexes and why we have to create indexes for the table columns. Okay, all those things you have understood clearly. Now, the next thing is, for few things, you don't have to create indexes. For example, I'll explain. For example, you have a particular table and it has some columns, and this particular column is specified with primary key. Then index will be automatically created for that particular column, guys. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you with that example. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to create another table, guys. Okay, create table EMP2 table. Okay, EMP2 ID int. Here I'm giving this as primary key and name as varchar 15. Like this I'm giving. This table, while creating this table, for one of the column, this primary key is specified. So I'm not going to create any index for this ID column, but automatically, okay, if you have a table, if you are creating a table and if you are specifying this primary key for one of the column while creating the table, then index will be automatically created for this primary key column. Okay, I'll show you. So let me first create a table, run this. When I create a table, table got created, guys. Refresh here so that you can see the table created. EMP2 table is there. Now I have not created any index manually for this ID column, but or this primary key. That is nothing but ID column, right? Primary key is there for this ID column. So I have not created any index for this ID column of this primary key. So, but still, even though I didn't create any index for this particular column, that is primary key, then if I expand this, so there are 2 columns like ID and name, and under indexes, if you expand, there is some index coming, guys, primary. Okay, this is coming because for this particular column, guys. Okay, so for the columns which are specified with primary key, you don't have to create indexes. Indexes will be index will be created automatically. Okay, primary index will be created automatically for this particular column, guys. Similarly, one more example, let me give. That is, not only primary key, guys, if I specify this particular column with unique, okay, integrity constraint, then also the same thing will happen. Okay, then also the same thing will happen. If I say create table EMP3 ID int unique, okay. So for this particular column, if unique is specified, you don't have to create index. Okay, automatically the index will be created for the column. Okay, ID column. So you can see that in action just now. Varchar, if I say 15. So in the EMP3 table, I'm trying to create 2 tables. One of the table is specified with unique. Okay, unique. So what happens is when I create this, automatically index will be created for the ID column. Okay, and this refresh here, EMP3 table got created. When I expand this, columns are ID and name, but index is ID index. Okay, index is created for ID, guys. So you can even say show indexes from table name is EMP3. Okay, if there are any indexes for this table name, it will be displayed. So EMP3 table has an index for which column? ID column. Okay, for which column? ID column. Key name is ID, automatically created. Okay, because this is specified as unique. That's the reason it's getting created, guys. Okay, so if you specify any column with unique, then automatically index will be created for that particular column. So guys, this is all about indexes and how to use them in SQL statements and their purpose for increasing or improving the performance of the application while retrieving the records from the respective table columns. So that's it, guys. See you in the next video session. Thank you. Bye.